Hey, Mass fans, what's going on? Darren here. I haven't been in front of the camera for a while. Just been showcasing some of the spins of masks as they come in and out of the collection. But today, I wanted to talk about something kind of interesting that I don't know if a lot of people's picked up on, but some history on some famous mask sculptors that's worked in Hollywood and how they kind of arched into distortions and why we have them today. And that's the story of Henry Alvarez and David Smith. So I was thumbing through Lee's book and came across a little paragraph dealing with the Aliens movie, since that just came out a couple months ago, I guess. Now, but anyway, on page 218 in Lee's book, Remember the Future, it's talking about the license Ed had with the Aliens. And in it, it says in 1991, thinking even bigger than Mask, Ed and Marcia released their full-size Aliens figure. This was sculpted by a team of 5 highly accomplished sculptors at Henry Alvarez's shop in Los Angeles. The team made up of Henry, Dwight Shundo, Wayne Strong, Sandy Calora, and David Smith, and the product was quite successful and they sold very well. Okay, so one thing that kind of stood out is like, okay, so we got the alien stuff out there, but in the costuming, David Smith sculpted the chest piece for the costumes, and I found that kind of interesting because there's only really probably one mask that's common that David Smith did that was released by 3 different studios now, and that's his Nightmare mask. That's the Bat mask. So he sculpted it for his own studio where it was officially released. Def Studios released it. Distortions released it. And I was kind of curious about the Smith Bat mask that Distortions released. And with that kind of evidence of David Smith working for Henry at the time, is kind of how Ed got the mold. And I knew that they had done it because back around 2008, the Paint Master kind of surfaced on eBay and was sold. Eric bought it and then has since sold it at one of the Mass Fest collections. But it was still a little interesting, and I'm like, what's that linkage right there? And the other evidence came up. My brother won the mask that's in my collection right now. He got it off of eBay and sent, say, hey, you keep it in the collection. And it's like the only one I've seen of the David Smith Bat mask made by Distortions. And I actually reached out to David Smith and asked him about it. I said, yeah, it was good, but I didn't really like the mass production of the Bat mask because a lot of the details was lost. I'm like, yeah, well, it's mass production at Distortions versus independent studios like Midnight Studios or Def Studios. But also some evidence came up of some other offerings like the Alvarez Bad Moon Werewolf, which was also offered by Def Studios. I think Muckle Bones has that mold now, but it was also offered by Distortions. And if you ever watch this video with the Tom Savini narrating VHS, it's online on YouTube, so go look at it. But that werewolf and that bat mask made the appearance in this video. I said, well, okay, so I know now that Distortions did make it, but it wasn't until about 2 years ago I won a mask catalog auction off of eBay, and the seller sent me the catalog, and lo and behold, these catalog pictures were in it. And I've shared these before, but I had never seen these before, and it's kind of surprised to get this in the mail. Like, holy cow, actually from the 1991 catalog, the same type overlay, we're actually seeing the Distortions offerings of the David Smith and Henry Alvarez pieces from that year. Here you have the DU 785 David Smith and the Alvarez Werewolf, the DU 775, more commonly known as Bad Moon, and also the hands were offered there. But so now I have the Distortions control stock numbers for it, and also on the back, Alvarez 3 sculpts that they did for the Terminator license also. So it was interesting to get that catalog sheet just to kind of tie in things from Distortions past that is not really known, and just finding other evidence in Lee's book, linking some of the famous sculptors that Ed has worked with in the past, and that linkage from the Aliens, I guess in 1991, being out there and getting David to sculpt it, and probably getting talks with him over lunch to get Distortions to produce a limited run, the werewolf and the bat mask for that year. So they're incredibly, insanely hard to find. So if you can find the Distortions Bad Moon werewolf or the bat mask, definitely take it up. And on the side note, I share some of that information with Rudy too. So if anybody has any questions ever about Distortions, I'm really happy to share some knowledge about it. I'm not claiming to be an expert or anything, but that Distortions is my passionate hobby on what I do. So that's kind of like linking stuff together and getting knowledge. And for those out there looking at collecting, hey, if you ever get a chance, don't forget, pick up Lee's books. They're Bibles on masks, other things that I highly recommend. Don't discount getting any of the Morris costume catalogs. There's a wealth of knowledge of what mask was released by all the mask makers at the time, and plus you get the catalog pictures from those companies for those years also, from Be Something Studios, Don Post, Caesar, and Distortions. And of course, David Lady's Guide to Mask Collecting. This book it is worth its weight in gold too, talking about some of the movie collector's mask and also some other stuff. This is a Clawfield's Louisville, Kentucky catalog, so that was some unique stuff in there from Forum Novelties in there. So anyway, go off to other channels too. Go to my friend Rudy at Rudy's World on YouTube. Check out his videos because he covers everything from Don Pose to Jordu independent pieces and some of the mega rare things that Rudy was able to find from collections across the world in the United States. So check out Rudy's page, and also I can't give a big thank you out to Dirk, who's helped me with the collection as he finds some duplicate of pieces and gifting and trading with me on some of those. So thank you, Dirk, for getting the collection where it is. So check out my other channel pages, playlists, and look at old catalog pictures of the spins and try to find your favorite mask for Distortions. I highly recommend starting out with a Twilight series, Distortions Twilight series playlist, because it has all the masks I have here in my collection room. And then also other playlists are subdivided in by either other mask makers or subcategories of Distortions masks. So hope everybody's doing well. Thanks. Just a quick update on what's going on, and I hope y'all all have a great, safe, wonderful rest of the year of 2024 as we head into the holiday season. Be safe out there, and God bless.